It is another brand new day in the evening of today, Thursday. As usual, I'm here again on your darling program, States of the States, on your darling station, Osrc Television. You know, Osrc Television belongs to the Osrc Media Group. And today we'll be talking about what can sustain us as people. We have insecurity here and there. You have a whole lot of things to complain about. But the point is here, for you to complain, you must have something in your stomach that will sustain you to complain. And that's why we want to talk about a whole lot of things concerning some components of it. The value chain from agriculture, empowerment. And we talk about other things that can make youths and other people willing to be self-reliant, to train them, and to make them capable of adding value to the society. It is on, and he's actually complementing everything assigned to him by the lucky governor of Ondo State, Honorable Orimisun Ayedatua, our governor. And today, welcome on the program, the chairman of Ondo State Agribusiness Empowerment Center, the chairman, Honorable Rotimi Akinshola. You're welcome on the program.
Good evening, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Is it right for me to check this seat?
Why not?
Okay, we're in line of duty.
Why not? I got to straighten something. Apart from coming from the Southern Central District, I'm also from the Central.
Oh.
So I'm
you combine two Central Districts?
SSA and also chairman of Osrc.
How secure is the state in terms of food? Now.
Well, we're getting there.
Right.
I won't say the administration is new. Well, we're 2 years in a row. We're going to the second year. His Excellency, with the sleepless night, we've tried to make things a little bit easy and more systematic and long-time planning.
Yeah.
We're not looking at just this administration. We're trying to leave a footprint for whatever administration is coming is going to follow in form of food security. So we use what we have to get what we want and also to plan for the future. So agriculture is probably the fastest way and the best way to actually have them engaged.
Yeah. But would you say that the youths are well engaged now with the involvement with what you are doing in that office?
Well, the one that pays attention to us and the one that really want to get interested are interested. You can't force every horse to the water to drink. You have to have interest. And those that have interest, we try and paddle the boat along together to make sure that they can get some kind of success in whatever they're doing. Yes, it's not easy, like anything that's going to be good. But if you put your time and energy to it, there are results that can come out and be very beneficial. Agriculture is a very beneficial and very productive activities now. But at the same time, we have an online and office line registration. The country has changed. If you want to take funds, you have to be able to have what Yoruba people call Manirundi. You have to have trade that we can actually hold and know your coordinates of your farm, your BVN, your NIN. All those things have to be in place. We have the largest tomato producers into Lagos for the past 2 years.
2 years
since the insurgents in the north. Ondo State has been sustaining tomato in the southwest for a while now.
But there are complaints within the state that people are not getting tomatoes to buy. Are we taking it to Lagos when people are not?
It's profit based. I'm not saying. I mean, I've gone through the market. Whoever says there's no tomato in the market is a joker. I mean, you can go to any of the market. I'm sure you see tomato. Depends if I'm farming, and I've wasted a lot of my money and time. Irrigation is very important now. You can't really trust the weather, so you have to invest money into irrigation. So I will go where the market is more lucrative for me.
Yeah.
Subsidizing food. I'm not saying it makes you lazy, but like I said, I'm a businessman.
I know.
First of all.
But that should be a priority for the people.
Yeah,
that should be a conceptual soul.
They fall back in.
Okay.
The Ministry of Agriculture, they do all that.
Yeah.
They take care of all that.
Okay.
We're a specific link of business.
Business.
And teach you how to do business.
Okay.
No matter how many tomatoes you have, if you don't have a business-oriented mind, you won't be able to actually set up how you're going to actually turn that tomato into paste. This is where we come in. We will get you a company that can actually take your tomato and take it into paste. We don't waste.
Okay.
So, but for say a bag of tomato costs XYZ, I'm not going to sell it at lost. But Ministry of Agri can actually have a way of actually making sure that it gets to every plate.
Yeah.
That is their style, and we have our own. So we match in hand. I'm not going to take their tomato and they won't take mine.
All right. Well, I am having a conversation with the chairman of Osrc, Honorable Chief Akinshola, and he's been talking to us on the state of the state of agribusiness in Ondo State. Chief, the situation around at the time when we have egg to powder initiative, I know you remember, but nothing is being heard when it is all about business, like the orientation we are having now. But we have all these poultry farmers. We always say there was a time Minister of Agriculture, late Audubi, was there. There was a place very close to Ijareya. They went there. We are not hearing anything about that. What is the response of poultry farmers to what you are doing in terms of adhiero and the egg of the thing that we discussed the other time?
Well, on adhiero, we try to work with a PAN. They used to be what we used to call lead farmers.
Okay. The poultry farmers.
Yes. They most of them who come in, we put them as lead farmers.
Okay.
And I think we just gotten to a stage where we are doing the way we lead farmers now. We were already training all people for them to also lead and get a better experience.
Okay.
So they will know what they learned than taking a professional person who is an expert. We won't know how far it's gone. About the egg powder, when everybody says this, and they also have to understand the leverage in which the eggs that are going to come from there, you know, what are going to be used for egg powder, are different from what we do from adhiero. And once the right authority, which is Home Depot, finds the right investor, because they're going to be used for quite a lot of stuff. So they have to have a starting standard that needs to come into that particular field. So I'm sure when the right investors come and His Excellency see fit, I'm sure that the basic element that know most of the materials that are needed are part of the dome for protection, and there's nothing wasted. But I'm sure when the right investor comes for that particular aspect and agrees with the states, I'm sure we will bust open that particular aspect.
Good. That one is good. And let digress a bit. And it has to do with the state that the state is now. If you look at
Are they wasting money doing infrastructure in Akure? Why are they doing traffic light? Why are they expanding road when they can do this and do that? But you can see now the conversation is totally different, because
the narrative.
The captain of AIS is a futuristic thinker. These things have been in the planning that this announcement is going to come, but you have to make preparation for those announcements to come. So you have to get prepared for whatever you're going to get. So if things are already in place, trying to do roads, start to expand roads, trying to put traffic light in place, because you're going to be attracting quite a lot of people who are going to come and do investment, and the place needs to know attractive to whatever you're going to be preaching around the corner. You need to be able to attract people to actually come and see that we're ready for business. So you cannot go and announce that Dangote is coming and you haven't shown any leverage, or you haven't shown anything to actually show that you're prepared. Right? So the overhead bridges comes in, the road expansion comes into place. You're tapping into federal government expansion as well.
Urban renewal.
So this now comes into place.
Yeah.
So you can now see how everything is actually going to gel.
Yeah.
In our situation,
Yeah, right.
why do you think we're training the youths in the adìẹ, in the fish, in the cassava,
Poultry.
so
Okay,
they,
we'll talk
they
about
can
pig later,
so they
right?
can tap in.
All right.
So they can tap in when things starts. I mean, the local stuff is a big industrial hub, where it means that if you want to set up stuff, basically most of the stuff you need to be ready for you to actually tap in. Fish processing, the high sea, both inner and outer. Electricity will probably be available, water system, gas. You can have a lot of stuff from other gas things that you do. So it is just the ease agenda, planning and hoping that whatever is coming in is ready and we will be able to tap in and do what we need to do as a state. And His Excellency is looking ahead.
Because critics had argued in the past.
Yeah.
Why was he slow?
Yeah.
Man is not doing anything.
Yeah,
We are not seeing anything.
But who is it now? Who is using the land temporarily? For you to have a land, you have to have the approval of Mr. Governor for you to use that land. So there's no short corner. And when you come to us, SAIC, for us to actually recommend you, we have to see that you're capable to actually being able to use those land before we can actually put a record forward through Home Depot for them to actually assign those land to you. So the civil servant are also getting involved in agriculture as well. We're encouraging it.
Aggressively.
Yes, of course. The food, everybody needs food, including the mad people also eat. So we have to be able to actually give everybody whatever they need food wise.
We talked only about in our conversation the other time about the Poultry Farmers Association. What of other associations that you have? Piggery, maybe they have association, other things.
We have a big place in our
how they receive what we are doing.
Well, like I said, we're business oriented.
Yeah.
We're not going to go fish for you. If you need us, we're here. Well, what we can do in training is go to IITA, get the latest development, make sure we learn from our staff, and bring it to the state. I'll give you an example. About a year ago, we took a visit to IITA in Ibadan. And we found out the variety of cassava. We found out that instead of you wasting your yam after you plant it, cutting it and replanting, those are old school.
Yeah.
There's seedlings now, yams that you came.
Seedlings?
Yes, of course. They came here through training. We had the training. They brought some of the seedlings. We gave to some farmers, and now I'm sure those yams are yielding by now. So there's seedlings for yams now. There are all kinds of seedlings. How you want your yam. The same thing with cassava. You can have cassava that feels like pounded yam, but it's grown. You have cassava strictly for ethanol. You have cassava that's like gari jebu.
Yeah.
But, so those things are what we put in the plate to actually teach a lot of people. You don't just say I want to be a cassava farmer. Where we have to ask you, are you ready for ethanol? Is it for consumption? But as a nation, we also need to actually edge on the cassava level, because we're not doing really what we should be using it for. We should be making billions on cassava. Well, yes, because we consume more than we actually use it for. So I'm always room for people who need a large land for cassava cultivation, so that we can also actually get ethanol out of those cassavas apart from the one that we consume. That's where the money is. Ethanol is very, very big.
Okay. Well, it's good having conversation with you. I think our people are getting more and more what they should gain on what the state government is doing through your office. But we are going to discuss, because you mentioned IITA the other time, we are going to discuss a whole lot in the second part of this program, because we Welcome back to the second part of the program. I Chief Akinshola is in the house, the Osrc chairman, the man that is business conscious for Ondo State to lift above zero level. And we know that with what he has said, the state is almost at maybe 75 or is it 100% in terms of the business and the value chain of agriculture.
No, we're working.
We're working. Okay.
People grow every day.
Let's agree we're working. And we'll see the benefits. Yeah. Before we go to these agencies, whatever you are leveraging, some youths were in your office recently where you advised them to embrace this agro-business so that they were well informed that. Do they decide on their own to come or invitation extended to them?
No, they actually wrote me. It's the October Student Union, October Division Student Union. They wrote, that meeting supposed to be about 2 weeks ago, but we were very busy. And so we put a meeting for the 11th. They came with their president and to appreciate us for what we've been doing and how we can also involve the graduates and the non-graduates in our program. Since some of them are still in school and some of them are young graduates, to encourage them to actually benefit from most of the stuff we're offering in Osrc. So we had a discussion on way forward. They also spoke about some difficulties in getting basic feeding to some students, which try to actually help out in that particular aspect. But it's mostly the interest. They came on their own, which I think is laudable and very wonderful. For them to have seen from a long distance to see what we're doing, and for them to actually want to come closer and learn more. I think it's beautiful. I think it's nice. I think it's all to the administration of being an open administration to see exactly how we can carry our youth along and basically what is needed for the youth to do. Like I told you, it's not just here. The world is changing
every day.
More technological issues in every aspect of life is taking place. Even in agriculture, it's taking place. So it's either you get to the practical end. Like I keep saying, you can bring your laptop to the farm. One way will be useful. The people that fly drones to actually find out which area of the crop, which side of the crop is doing well. That helps you from actually hiring a whole lot of people to actually go into the farm and see where water is being touched or fertilizer is not enough. People fly drone to do all that now. And so it's very attractive for people who might feel agriculture is not of their own in the past. My wish for the state is for the equipment for farming. I pray we will be able to get to a level where we have each senatorial district having their own tractor zones instead of lumping it in one department or issue. Technologically, all those things can be wind online. Everybody has a telephone, and necessarily has to be between the private sector setting those things up, and we will be able to feed it into the farmers. For example, if you have a land in Akure North and there's a tractor zone in the center, you can easily go online, inquire, what's it going to take you to come to my farm and claim my land or get my land prepared for planting. You go online, they come, do inspection, and bring their tractors and do what they need to do and leave. You're not bothered with having to actually own a tractor or having to actually maintain a tractor. You can use that money, even if you can afford it, you can use that money to actually increase on your growth of your farm. Most people doing harvest, they go and hire people, let's say for a corn field, for example. to come and harvest in a cornfield. Even if you see the local helpers, maybe you hire 100, you can't get 100, you can't get 70% of your harvest. But if you go to a tractor center where there's an harvester and you pay for a harvester, you have an agreement, and they bring their harvester, I'm sure you'll be able to actually acquire 95% of your harvest in a harvester, and that is done quicker, more efficiently. Those are the areas I wish and I pray that in the next future we'll be moving into, and it's be more productive for us in terms of food and accounting for whatever we grow.
Okay. But are you not worried that the local government is not doing much like what we have in the states, and in an area where we have autonomy? Because all we've been talking about states doing this in the local government, or are you in partnership with the local government people?
Well, like we do, we are also doing land banking. And land banking means we're bringing agriculture to the neighboring towns, which means we engage the local government, we engage the traditional rulers, we engage large farm owners. The forest needs to be taken care of, our reserves. We don't need to put as much pressure on the reserve anymore, because we need them in the future. We need to plant more trees, and we need to bring agriculture close to the people. So that helps us to actually see the leap effect of agriculture. If I'll give you an example of what I know and what I'm planning suddenly, not to be biased because I'm a chief from there. At Kotobo, for example, we're setting up almost 2 simultaneously farms, 5,000 hectares around the town. And those are going to employ at least about 2,000 to 3,000 people around the town. And the after effect is there will be more houses needed, right? There will be, Basira is going to sell more food, right? The multiplier effect is going to be high. And this has shown from what one of our investors is doing in Ore, JB Farms in Ore. He has 8,000 hectares.
8,000 hectares.
And he can't get enough diesel or enough petrol from Ore. He can't even get enough workers from the division. They have to bring people from other places to actually work. That is a farm that is right in the community. It's not deep down in the forest. So you don't have to start carrying people all the way from town into the deep forest. When you have more of community land and local government land around you, you can set up those structures around the local government and see the multiplier effect of those particular issues and growth. Other businesses will spring up. Car repairs, machineries, and all that stuff will spring up. So those are where we're looking at. We call them land banking. We're gradually moving away from our forest reserve and going towards the land banking area, which consists of the local government and also the landowners.
Okay. All right. That's joint effort to get those things done. All right.
He's also a client in the States. He has a business in the state before he became the MD of Bank of Agric. When we had a conversation, the continued registration of farmers and getting their details and segmenting whatever product they have or they're producing is extremely important. And that is the only way you can get funding. But at the same time, because in the past of these issues of our porous forests, most farmers chicken out in coming out and taking loans because they want to be accountable for whatever they get, which is discipline. So in other sense, I had the work with His Excellency on how do we protect our edges of our farmers for them to be able to actually come out and being able to actually come out there and get loans for them to be able to farm. We need to secure those areas. And those areas are not secure because they are void. And that's one of the reasons I said we're going to land banking. Land banking are closer to communities, they're safer, and you don't have to be porous in the forest. Now, for us to keep the void, we have to get large investors who have the capacity to actually clear 20,000 hectares of land in those void area and be able to actually close it up. Once those voids are made in all our corners, the farmers on the inside are well protected. We cannot have Amateku and the police do their job, but they won't be able to kidnap somebody and run out of the state because it'll be open and void. And like JB, for example, I keep coming to him because there were a lot of dead bodies found out there when he was converting that place into a farm. That's where they used to drag all dead bodies in because it was void. We just finished an operation Allah recently, and we can tell you what we met there. That's why you don't hear of dead bodies coming out of Allah, or people coming out of Allah, because His Excellency has worked there. We've worked in securing the place. We're bringing companies to that place. Their papers will be ready very soon. They will move in there with their bulldozers and clear level and start to actually do proper agriculture processing that will benefit the state. So those are time consuming for an administration who understands the priority and what it has to do. It's not rocket science. It takes time. It takes planning. And you have to deal with all kinds of manners of people. So it's understanding and treading carefully, not to roughen people's feathers. So those are the things that we've been working upon, and I'm sure with Olokola, which people have to get fed. So you will see those results coming in. I mean, when this market is open, people will actually, when it's safe, they will go into the forest and they will do things. They will come into the community and take land. We have a lot of investors coming in, but like I said, we have to plan it the way it's supposed to be planned. It's not just giving an XYZ, go there, go and do this. What do you want to grow? What kind of people do you want to employ? Do you understand? What processing are you coming with? So we have an array of issues. Our cocoa, for example, we need to actually add more value to whatever has been produced. This is the first time that His Excellency is trying to set up a cocoa board to see exactly how those things can be looked into.
So we used to have cocoa board in those days.
Has it functioned since it came in?
But at the same time, people complained that cocoa board actually impeded a lot of progress of people at that time.
But he's setting up a proper board that's going to manage the situation on ground right now. We have a lot of encroachers on our land who are planting cocoa, and they are not falling in line. What is government getting for it? And what kind of value are you adding to it? So if we know where all cocoa farmers are, and they are under one umbrella, we can plan holistically for processing, for gains, for inputs, and all things that are needed can actually give. So we can actually get value for being number one of cocoa producers in the country. So those are all in plan. Those are all things that in the next couple of months, I'm sure you'll see the values of those things actually happening.
That's great. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLA, saddled with all these narcotics, and the agency was in Ondo State early this year, talking about converting those that used to deal in all these illicit drugs, planting marijuana, all these, converting them into farmers that will be planting crops. So, are you taking up that?
If the market is available, product, and make them more civilized and open to their business, or being hidden away.
That you can do with ease, with freedom.
Exactly. So that's why he said they're not going as an enforcer. They're going as a partner. To let you know that you can do other product than this.
That'll be beneficial.
So it's a well idea for them to know. But if you're hardened, you're hardened. If you can be soft, I'm sure a certain percentage of people will fall in that line and join that tray. And agriculture is a place where, or this generation, this young generation is a vision generation. They need to see. They need to see you do well. They need to see, oh, that guy is a farmer and he's making money. right? And they need to see you live the life before they can actually want to do.
Yeah.
So people like your program probably have some times to invite important farmers who are doing well to come and talk on TV about how they get from where they are. So the young ones can actually see that, well, this is a good business. I can make a living from farming. And that will also encourage them to actually want to get away from illicit drugs or planting of all this stuff that are not needed for the society.
I was so happy when you talked about taking people to IT. That's level of exposure.
And also to soil lab in Abeokuta. To go and
yeah,
do.
I remember we spoke that time in Abeokuta, because we discovered that most of people practicing agriculture are not exposed beyond the old methods. But for me, I'm worried that
in line issue. So you have to graduate all those guys out while planning is going on for you to. I know quite a lot of people who are interested to actually head. They thought I was in charge actually of those things when they used to come and ask.
Yeah.
But His Excellency is Mr. Governor's idea to actually set up that. So Mr. Governor is the one that's actually going to pick whoever is going to be in charge of that. But like I said, the reason you're not hearing much is that they're planning going on.